I said look for them to look. I said I conjure up something that's free of style. I break it down like vowel and be sure to go to mile. Matter of fact, a couple miles. I'm on the B-sides for the sick side. That's besides the point. Once in a while, I'm on my tactile.
What's good, YouTube? You're kicking it with Jordan, and today we are going to talk about my 3 months playing in these beautiful babies right here, the Air Jordan 34. Now, before we get started, I want to share with you all my basketball profile, you know, the type of game that I play, and that way you can see if there's any similarities in your game or if you should pick up this shoe. So with that being said, I am 5'11", I weigh 180 pounds, I have a thin build, and my type of game, I like to kind of play around the arc in that mid-range, you know, run to that open space, and once I'm open, get that pass, catch, and shoot. And I do a lot better in this role, because me personally, I'm not the shiftiest player, I don't have the best handles in the world, so I would rather get to open space and get my shot off rather than trying to get around someone, you know what I'm saying? Now, that doesn't mean that I completely don't like having the ball. I actually love having the ball, particularly in the fast break. When the defense isn't set yet and I don't really got to get around anyone, I typically have that quickness to punch it through and get all the way to the basket. So I also do thrive in fast break. That's when I most like to have the ball. But usually, if we're not in the fast break and the defense is set, I like to kind of get to open space, catch and shoot. So now we can get to what makes a basketball shoe, and that's the traction. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I had 2 to 3 slips in this shoe, right? At the very beginning though, during the break-in period. And it tended to be when I was guarding more shifty players, you know, when I really had to be moving my feet on defense. However, after I broke them in, I didn't experience any slips whatsoever. So the traction setup was really excellent after that point. And I will say that is a massive statement because of the fact that I play on the dustiest courts ever. So if this traction setup could survive there, it could survive anywhere. Now, let's talk about cushion and construction. When it comes to cushion, the Air Jordan 34 felt great. They had great step and comfort. However, please take that with a grain of salt because the last shoe I played in and that I'm comparing it to was the Nike Kyrie 5, and these have like absolutely no cushion in them. Now, as a lot of you may know, this shoe has the Nike Zoom bags in the heel and in the forefoot, right? And to be honest, they felt absolutely great. I felt explosive and I never felt as if the shoe was holding me back, especially in the fast break. And lastly, the upper was constructed of these very thin and breathable materials. As I discussed in my previous video, they were absolutely awesome. The lockdown on this shoe as well, absolutely great as well. No complaints whatsoever. Now, upon the release of the shoe, I did see some photos going around of this plastic piece right here breaking and some people having some issues with that Nike Zoom bag possibly escaping from the shoe. However, I had no problems with that whatsoever. As you can see, that plastic piece is very, very well intact. Now, it's important that I keep it real with you, so now I'm going to move on to some of the drawbacks of the shoe. And in my previous video, I did discuss how the upper on the Air Jordan 34 is segmented. So sometimes this piece right here may be cutting into your ankle a bit. And after 3 months of playing in these, I can honestly tell you that they do cut into your ankle. But when all that adrenaline is flowing and pumping through you, you absolutely do not feel it whatsoever. Now, on the flip side, when you take a break mid-game or you come off for some reason or another team is going on, whatever the case, and that adrenaline in your body starts to come down, you begin to start feeling this piece right here digging into your ankle, and it's a little bit irritating. The good news is that overall, it never does any more than that. It never does more than irritate your skin. It never cuts your skin. It just maybe rubs your skin a little bit bad, so it's nothing too crazy, you know? Now let's get to the really important stuff. The biggest drawback that you need to know about the Air Jordan 34 is that it has very poor impact protection, okay? Now, as I told you before, I like to play off the ball. I like to get to open space, catch, and shoot. And when I played that type of game, I had no problems with this shoe whatsoever. Now, I'll be honest, sometimes there are days where the shot is not falling for me. Right? It's not falling whatsoever. And I got to create my own shot, you know what I mean? Or go off the dribble, drive in the paint, get my own rebounds, battle in the paint, and all of that stuff. And when I play that style of basketball, you know, when I'm getting those rebounds, throwing it up, missing, getting my own rebound again, throwing it up, driving heavy to the paint, when you're constantly landing heavy on your feet, that's where I noticed the Air Jordan 34 had poor impact protection. Because when I played more of that style, I noticed that I would get some shin splints. Not the worst shin splints in the world, but nonetheless, shin splints. Now, it's important for me to tell you that this only happened to me once or max twice in my 3 months of using it. However, nonetheless, I think you should know, because if you play a style of basketball that you take heavy drives to the paint, that you're landing on your feet very heavily, that you're doing a lot of rebounds, or you just absolutely need impact protection, whether you got some bad ankles, some bad knees, this might not be the shoe for you. Now, the last and final drawback I want to talk about is not even really a drawback, but I want to mention it just in case. It's actually the premiumness of the shoe. Who would have thought? Now, this will be dependent on the colorway or style of the shoe that you get. But for example, on the Blue Void version right here, you see all these black components. They're made up of a really nice, soft suede material. And it feels incredible. It feels super premium. However, if you're playing basketball, and especially if you're playing on dusty courts, that suede is subject to taking a bit of scuffs that don't look too great, as opposed to if they had used another material, right? All in all, basketball shoes are gonna get torn up anyways, but if you are someone who cares about the looks of the shoe or hopes to use this shoe as a lifestyle shoe outside of the gym as well, might want to keep that in mind. And alas, we arrive at the verdict. And I will honestly say that despite some of these drawbacks, I actually loved playing in the Air Jordan 34. I felt fast, I felt explosive, and it honestly felt like just a good quality premium basketball shoe. It was awesome to play in. So if you are someone who does not need that much impact protection, I would highly recommend the Air Jordan 34, especially because the colorways that are coming out are super dope. I love the one that Jason Tatum wore, the taco styled one. That one is absolutely incredible. I'm hoping to actually get my hands on that one as well. And to conclude, thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please be sure to like, please be sure to subscribe, as it helps me out an absolute ton. I hope you all are staying healthy. I hope you all are staying safe. And with all that being said, I will be back soon. Hope you enjoy. Have a great day. Peace out. Deuces later. Bam.
Now switch flows attention. Stone cold, Velcro, get ripped slow. You old foes and black crows. Murder the game, left red like Elmo. You know I control her like Simpson. I handle bars like Mo. See, don't lie to me. I know it's been a while since you heard the lyricism come off as clear as this. 4 eyes, full-time student, most important for them. Don't forget, I'm a part-time lyricist, yeah.